Thursday 1380 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Should be a course for Ami Yisrael, our ongoing Milchama. Today we're doing your Desmond Reish Mem Test, Sif Yud Base. Sif Zion Yud Base. Zion. B'chein Adar Pashut Sharev Hashem Mechash Kol Shana V'Shana Rosh Hashanah Rosh Hashanah. I'm not sure why you can't use the April 15th if you want, or January 1st for that matter, whatever. But theoretically, it's Mechol Shana V'Shana Rosh Hashanah. Again, there's all since it's no specific halacha ma'aseh ksafim. I don't think there's necessarily has to be Rosh Hashanah. This year they've been the main thing is this point is that the making the ledger balance. If he had the deals this year which he profited and those which he lost, he makes a general reckoning. Revach, whatever remains as the balance in profit, no sim tzedakah, gives nice tzedakah. From that, Rechlau Revach Nefshav Rak and Revach Hanaki, including profit is only clean profit. But every expense he had on the deal, even that which he had traveling expenses, or he had to eat or drink. It's all considered part of the expenses of the deal. And he deducts all of that. Whatever remains profit after deducting all the expenses. Mikre Ravach is called profit. But your household expenses you shouldn't deduct. So that the person makes $1,000 a year. No say male Masai so gives 100, 200 tzaka. Africa Shubalo Tubbe. So even though his household expenditures are more than $1,000. He's got to give myself from the profit. I'm going to show it's the tzedakah, only that part of it which was actual tzedakah of his personal expenses. Such as distributed bread on Thursdays, or gave coins to poor people, or gave some day food to eat to people Talmud Torah, or Shabbos, or he hosted a poor guest for Shabbos, or even on a regular weekday meal, but like Jews do. He can deduct it from the portion of Meiser. But the expenditures on his minor children. We say the drasha in stuff note that somebody who does stuck all the time, somebody who sustains his children when they are minors. Chazal meant this as a sermon. Mitzvah also it's a chil chshov zevachal tzach shom gulus and stock. Loki lo me'agil ani maput achas. That's case the ani will never get a single cent. If I got bnei somebody who raises his grandchildren, or Sam or his grandsons or granddaughters, they should yochel shov zevachal tzach mi ma'aser can't consider tzach to deduct from ma'aser. But I rake about it, grandchildren like children. God, somebody's raising an orphan. Whether it's from his family or not from his family, she would something a great stock of most miser. I consider that to be my money. Ruchla says is it stock of Meruba Shadain and Barabashal Kokach Meiser. He has to give some great amount of stock, which there isn't in its yet in his own personal profit enough Meiser to cover that stock. You can give. He can loan to himself the money for tzedakah on the basis of the profit he's going to make afterwards. But it's not going to be so then deduct from the meiser which he owes from that profit, whatever he already spent, and give it to put it in his own pocket. So evidence of this. Where you can give money to Cohen and then use that to pay yourself back by not giving him the truma, which is due to him, etc. Soil Chaim Keva or whatever is due to him, and using that for yourself. This idea of not deducting household expenses, I'm not sure. Again, it's all minhagim, so it's hard to say. If a person has huge mortgage, I'm not sure how they're, or something of that sort, I'm not sure how they're supposed to not deduct that from their needs. Or same thing with the rental. I'm not sure why the Arukh HaShulchan says that. I don't know if I can. If somebody asked me, it's a minhag, I would say it depends on you make the minhag on yourself. So if you're making yourself, the only profit above and beyond your household expenses, which are normal expenses, not exaggerated, that's your makabel the minhag. Okay. Also, he doesn't write about tuition. So also should be considered to be nicer because you're supporting the school. It's not just going to your child's education. Okay, but of course, theoretically you should isolate, but actually goes to college education, which is kind of a pittance. It's necessary to have the school, nonetheless. That's supporting Talmud Torah the rabbi. Ches, because Rabbeinu Ramah, the Ein Lasos Maaser Shel Dvar Mitzvah Go Ner Space Aknas Shar Dvar Mitzvah. Not supposed to do with your ma'aser money something which is Dvar Mitzvah, such as giving candles to a shul or other mitzvahs. Raki Nenu Aniyim, but just give it to poor people. Akal Shona. Aviyos Sandak. But to be a tzandik and a bris, but in also a bris mila, and account is to give money to the woman who gave birth, or to pay for the kids of bris mila, which of only when the father is poor. King shenos and chlasses kal yitzav is and give money for chlasses kal, etc. Barahim b'chal tzmaiser. This would include a meiser. That's a shach. King akona aliyah sefer Torah. Also, somebody buy the aliyah for sefer Torah. Nothing matters in the dava the base of man medrash. He gives in the dava for the shul. And meiser it's also meiser. King mashinos in tzedakah mishras akila. Also give tzedakah to people who serve the community. Bad having chal tzedakah still including tzedakah. Really, the mashinos in klei kodesh beis chasunas beno vito. Whatever you give to the rabbonim, the ones who perform the wedding or the ones who present at the wedding at the time when your son or daughter gets married. No, I guess not. No, it's specifically the Klei Kodesh was serving at the wedding. That's interesting. Sorry about the rabbi and the chazan, I guess. It's not Maisa. It's also chasana. Interesting. I'm noticing, what about the Bible? He doesn't discuss that. It's really the same thing. And noticing based Maisa, if he gives to money to other aniyim, at the time it's chasana, makes the chasana, then of course have the chamaisa that's included in Maisa. Test Okas, so they also wrote the Mutter of Fast and Mind Shlo. The Bana Bagdalim Shem Shed Sikhim was that. And your Maisa to your adult children if they need your money. Because the Shemuch Enem Chayv the top of them, since you don't have to raise them, it's not part of your obligation. Feel Avi Mutter Lite Mimos a Maisa of any Koshkin about it. You're not allowed to give to your father if he is impoverished from your Maisa money, and so it's your children. His name is Rami Rudenberg. It's not clear. It's not clear. Says that a person should be cursed if a person feeds his father from Meiser Ani. He says if he wants to accept the curse, he's allowed to do it. Never thought about this. To do it, it seems astonishing. Because Meiser Ani is well known. He knows he's taking from his produce. That's particularly degrading. Those are the most Meiser Shana do it's not like Meiser money, which is not a public spectacle. However, if we allow people to give to their father and to their children, that's going to be made for the other need. Doesn't seem to be appropriate. So they're and find a middle way. Some say, furthermore, the mutar feeling that you're allowed to even you can sustain it from another resource. That's really astonishing. Now, it's true in the simulation of it says that in terms of tzedakah, your relatives come before other people. That's certainly when you can't give more, so his father and his children come first. And also, this is when his children, which is supporting, are going to learn Torah as a result. But if he's wealthy, so we'll say that he can make the reckoning of most Maisa to include his supporting his father or his children. He starts out some Bazam, he exempt himself that way for giving tzedakah. The brackets it says Chemuchim Eshachat Smo Shom Sifkon. Hey, who like Gankos Shakhan Kshin Yodim Masegas Varchikin who, because perhaps the Shach really means here when he has no choice, and certainly that must be what the Shach means. Yud Odkos, they also wrote the Mutter no Svorim most my so Limo by him. I had to buy Sforim with my money and to learn with them. Lashim Achem learn to others, Limo by him to learn them. And you shall and Achab, you can't get Sforim any other way. But Gam Zetzorchin, this also is not clear. You cannot do it, fill in most mitzvah. So why not fill in the talis? The Shachem so Gankin Boyan, so the people davening from them, using them to fill the talis and fill. But cannot do it, no shofar. But Esor was Sukkah Meister, it's allowed to buy a shofar and Esor and Sukkah from Meister. But Shachem is Shavjar Gankin Boyan, but people still know as well. The English Shamin Bexubas, Isis Talk Balay, is that case is flowing machine lacher. I maybe you'll say, well, it's only funny because it says in Ksubas staff. Knowing that somebody who's oset stuck all the time is somebody who writes for him and loans him dollars. I would say amazing one of a time. Well, they said the same thing like we saw previously in somebody who feeds his minor children. He goes there, and nevertheless don't consider Maisa, which goes obviously beside. For Arma was there, and people who are Darshanim, they said about this, don't come, you should not come all the time into the sanctuary. So Aaron HaKohen. Come by the mitzvah that stuck, she darshu al kra. So I said, stuck called ace. If you do that stucca, which they say it falls under the category there of Babasa of saying which it's a place, but that you're not going to get into the sanctuary. Furthermore. The im afilu not to look at swine mice and most mice. Even learn to buy swine for mice money. Come never sareu kaacher. They're not yours really. Like anybody else. You can say to him, and say you should touch that swine. It's chababai. That's what it's a chababai. We don't want you to keep a swine by you in the house. You base medrash. You should be in the medrash. Go and say a mode by him. Anybody wants you to learn of him. Okay, well, these tracks that's what matter is. Therefore, it's best to distance what's up from this leniency. The actual money you're paying for your children to learn, it's not considered to be part of Meiser. It's a mitzvah in of itself. That's the most Meiser. It's like other mitzvah can't do from Meiser money. Again, I said before, because you're supporting the school for the overwhelming majority of the money you're giving, it's not going towards the Muhammad to Charles' teacher. It's a very small amount, relatively speaking. That she most time takes a chassan, a son-in-law, that he should learn. Come, the most meiser. That's big fish. You can't say that meiser money. Ashim shayim acher bado yishimat emo. He didn't pay his chavrusa to learn with him. Wow. Okay, it seems like a big chuppah. And he says here, he says in the brackets, King is that named Elu. That's what seems Arukh HaShulchan. Okay, probably people who argue on that. My piece you have Fabiana. I feel only should be swell. We already explained that even a poor person, I'm actually upset who himself is begging from door to door. He doesn't have the capacity to do it. Nevertheless, once he has to give tzedakah. Can I move chazal? Let me at some parts be shlisha shekel l'shana. Person not give less than a third of a shekel a year. In this because that person gives less than this. Elokim mitzvah tzedakah and fulfill the mitzvah tzedakah. Hey, mitzvah say that mitzvah zu. He did. I thought I called ish mislo. The mitzvah of saying tzedakah is incumbent on every Jew. So the kindness of mitzvah person do it at least once a year, like any other mitzvah. The time the shlish is a shekel, the reason for it's a third of a shekel. That was the amount they gave in order to sustain the Berek HaBayis of the Beis HaMikdash. Brackets it says Ulai Mishum the shlish shekel yesh reish nuvu prutos. Okay, so drasha here in a half a shekel, in a third of a shekel, there are 256 prutos. They may have Explain to the days of the year, which are weekdays every year. That's cool. About Shabbos, Erev Shabbos, and Torah Mitzvah Shabbos. If you exclude Shabbos and Erev Shabbos, when you are too involved in Malacha, so that's 52 and 104. That's 306. Then we come to 360. I guess close. You can put the Liyom. You can put every day. Not sure the Kunyot, non-Kunyot. I don't know what it works exactly. But okay, ration above Kanafi Shem Chayos HaKodesh. Okay, it's more complicated. Let's take 256 wings in the Chayos HaKodesh Kavur Piyut, the Chayos Chule, the Gush's Mutzim Rosh Hashanah. Shem Rosh Hasakise. These are the Chayos which uplift the Kisei covered. Stucca Romain Goy and Stucca uplifts the nation. They do very nice. Ayusham Mishkolim Perk Beis Aloch Gimel. You base Omer Chazal Sham. Chazal said, "Shkula Tzedakah they call mitzvah. Shkula Tzedakah is has significance in weight comparable to all the other mitzvahs. Ayin Sham, B'chulei Ayin Sham. The Kol Maaseh, and the greatest person who gets other people to give tzedakah. Kol Mashem Aseh Tzedakah B'Chem, collects tzedakah for other people. Yes, Maaseh, the person who does tzedakah Latzmon, but tzedakah himself. The person who's the impetus is greater than the person who actually does it. Shneimar says here, Maaseh Tzedakah Shalom. The deed of tzedakah will be peace. But that's not tzedakah. But the work of tzedakah will be hashkeit uvetach, will be tranquility and security ad olam for eternity. There's no more difficult avodah than gathering tzedakah from other people. Its reward is great. And you save in Shamayim your descendants for having to gather tzedakah. Rambam Perakun, because of the Lashon said the Rambam writes, Hakobachem in tzedakah, somebody who compels us to give tzedakah, Masel son makes them do it. Tzedakah Gadol Mischar and Noisen, his reward is greater than the reward of the person who actually gives the tzedakah. Shem Avayom Maseh Tzedakah Shalom. So he's saying that I think he's saying that that's the Maseh Tzedakah Shalom, not the Ma'aseh Tzedakah, but the Maseh Tzedakah, perhaps. Val Gabi Tzedakah Yitzim and Nemar. The Gabi Tzedakah we know that says. Matztiche people, Matztiche Ran Kochavim, those who provide righteousness for the masses by making them tzedakah are radiant like the stars. This, by the way, is I'm doing this. And Parsha Shkolim. But it's a good pass.